Only mode.
Good afternoon, everybody. Vyral Workman here. Welcome to today's RISmedia's ACE Content Solutions webinar series. We're excited to be here today, and we're excited to share with you some unbelievable content. You know, as I prepare for these webinars, I have the opportunity to interview each of the panelists, and I get into kind of deep details into how they're doing in their business and what they're doing, and you are in for a serious treat today. We've got some great guests, and what makes all this possible are our great partners. And I want to introduce and welcome Joe Cesso here in just a minute with Homes.com. As we prepare to come into the next thing, I want to remind you that at the end of these webinars, we always give some free things. I always ask the presenters to share with us some inside track or some inside secrets or things that they don't mind sharing with the group. And both of our panelists today are givers. We've got some great things for you at the end of the call. I'm also going to ask you to look at your dashboard for your GoToWebinar. If you look at your dashboard on the GoToWebinar, you'll see there's a tab called Questions. If you have a question, type it in, and then I get notification, and I'm actually monitoring the questions on a separate screen. And so if you have questions for either Lee or for Mike or for Joe, just type them in, and then when it's an appropriate break or a time that I have that I can ask questions, I'll ask your questions to our presenters. We encourage you to be interactive. We want you to stay tuned to the webinars, what's going on. And we appreciate you for being here. And I hope you're all having a phenomenal 2017. It's a great, great year. Well, let's begin. First of all, for thanking Homes.com, I've been a fan of Homes.com for a lot of years. Joe, I appreciate you being here today. Joe Cesso is a national speaker and the sales director for Homes.com. He's literally done over, I don't know how many different states you've spoken. I think it's 35 or 40 different states to 30 or 40,000 different real estate professionals. I think you've been in all the states, Joe. Which one haven't you been in? You've been in 49 states.
Hawaii is the only one I haven't spoken in, Vyral. That's the last one on my bucket list. Can't wait to do it. So maybe you want to invite me out there.
I can totally make that happen for you. Joe's
great.
the author of The Foreclosure Revolution in 2008, which was a award-winning book that predicted the United States housing crash right before it happened. It was a great timing on that book. And he's just now putting the finishing touches on his new book, The Secrets of Top Selling Agent. And that's scheduled to be released mid-August, and you should pay attention for that book as it gets released. And I think you've got some great guests and some great interviews where you've taken and really broken down what the top and the elite people do. Well, Joe, thank you for being here. What's Homes.com up to these days?
Oh, we're doing a lot of great stuff, Vyral. I mean, for those of you who don't know about Homes.com, we get more than 15 million unique visitors to our site every month, more than 20 million overall between mobile and desktop. The thing is that we're the largest privately held portal in America today. And so before I kind of get into one of the new things that we're doing, I want to share a couple stats with you of things you might not know about us. So 90% of page views on Homes.com are from consumers that are actively searching for their next home. So we think about this and we say, well, that sounds pretty obvious. But the thing is we don't focus on things like celebrity foreclosures and celebrity real estate. We focus on the very bottom of the sales funnel, people who are most buyer and seller ready to connect with an agent. And another thing is 75% of Homes.com buyers, guess what? They're not yet committed to an agent. So that's 3 out of 4 buyers on our site are not yet committed to an agent. And as you see, the next slide is 62% of the Homes.com buyers are planning to move within 6 months. And here's one I'll share with you that's not on here, is that 91% will be moving within 12 months. So just to kind of recap that, you got 15 million unique visitors to our site every month. 90% of the page views are for people actively looking for their next home. 3/4 of these people are not yet committed to a realtor. And 62% will be buying within the next 6 months. So those are some huge lead capture opportunities. And the other thing I want to share with you is that they're going to be talking about prospecting today. This is a huge part of the business. But when you prospect and you generate lead activity, you've got to call those leads back right away. So one of the stats we found here is that leads contacted within the first 5 minutes are 100 times more likely to convert. So all I can say is, what I'm about to show you here is if you could just do me one favor. If you're going to commit to doing this and you're ever going to buy a lead generating product, make sure that you have either a team in place or you can personally say, yes, I will call back those leads within the first 5 minutes, because otherwise what you're going to find is you're getting voicemails or no answers because they're on the phone with other agents already qualifying them. So that's why we want to make sure that you beat your competition. So when we talk about winning more listings, we have a product It's actually a product solution called Local Connect. What it does is it connects buyers and sellers with agents. Now, the solution is zip code based, so I can pick out my favorite zip code, and in that zip code, I can generate buyer leads off other people's listings in that zip code. But I also can generate seller leads as well, because we have an entire section on homes.com that's dedicated to what's my home worth. So when somebody fills that out, if their home is in a zip code that you own, you will get that lead. So it's one of those really unique things where you have an opportunity to generate both buyer and seller leads from the same product. So it's really great. It's zip code based. And as far as it's limited availability, so you're not rotating through with 10 or 15 different agents. It gives you a great opportunity to generate some leads. You call back fast, you convert them, and it's something we're very excited about, Vyral. It's one of the things that's really doing quite well at Homes.com right now.
Well, it's fun to see Homes.com continue to innovate and work on making the process easier for realtors to engage and for the consumer to have a great experience online. And as always, we appreciate your support. And, for those of you that are watching the webinar today, all I can tell you is that you got to, when somebody is willing to invest in your business and share with you ideas and things how you can make more money, you owe them at least give it a look. Take a look at it, find out what they can do for you, talk to one of their reps, and enjoy all the different ways we have today of making money online. So thank you, Joe. And Joe, I encourage you to stay on the call and interact with us, ask questions of the presenters. You've had a lot of experience interviewing top agents, and we've got a couple of the best with us here today.
Absolutely. Thanks, Vyral.
You bet. I first want to introduce to you Lee Tessier. Lee is with Keller Williams American Premier Realtor. He's a phenomenal real estate agent, a 35-year native of the Baltimore area, has an unbelievable passion for real estate, not just selling it, but also owning it. He's been in the business for only 10 years. He's worked in the sales industry, though, for most of his life, over 25 years, with 80% of his business coming from referrals. I want you to think about that. He's been known for following through and getting the job done. Due to his rapid increase in volume in 2010, the Tessier team was created. And the team currently consists of 22 team members, including administration, agents, and it's constantly growing. In 2016, Lee's team did a little over 417 houses for a total of 114 million. And Lee, is this year going to be better than last year?
Yes, we're on pace to do just over 500 units and 135 million in sales.
Well, congratulations, and it's fun to have you on the call today. If you're lucky enough, Lee is one of our coaches at Workman Success Systems, and he's making a difference in the lives of a lot of other people. One of the things I want to ask you, Lee, is when you're doing this much business and this much volume, how do you have time to coach anybody?
Actually, it's nice because I'm sitting in my beach house now, so it's a nice thing to be able to get away and unplug. As long as you're getting the right team members in place, you're able to do more volume. When we go to the volume slide of showing how my sales have grown over the years, you'll see there's actually a step back, and that was me pulling back a little bit and getting more key people in and having them do the sales and then help make their life better. As I do that, then it frees me up with my time to do other things like coaching and flip houses and buy rental properties and stuff of that sort.
Yeah, I love that. So talk to me about how you create a culture of productivity and some of the things that you're doing as a leader.
So all of my team members, my assistants are in the office at 8:30 a.m. every morning, and my agents are in by 9 a.m. And Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we used to do it every day, but we've gotten to the point where our agents have gotten better and better, so we only do it 3 days a week. But we do our role play going through LP Mama scripts. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 9:30 a.m. Sometimes it runs a little bit over, but no longer than 9:45. And it's just our agents practicing on each other. The more we practice on each other, the better their conversion is, rather than practicing on live leads and losing that conversion where it could have cost us thousands of dollars.
I love that. With 22 people, how do you keep people motivated and staying fired up and willing to be with you? I think that we see a lot of teams that have a concept of building a team, but their team members don't stay with them very long. Do you have tell me a little bit about your team and some of the things you guys do?
Yeah, so my office manager has been with us for going on, this December will be 9 years. My top buyer agent's been with me going on 7 years. Then a few others that have been in the five-year range, as well as my son been there for almost 7 years. So the biggest thing is just creating that good culture. I'm in there, I'm working too. So they see what I'm doing. In the summertime, they're seeing me a little bit less, but they know if they need something, they're still able to call me or text me, and I'm always able to get back to them right away. and help them through processes. And then also I've gotten my son in a good position where he's our sales manager on the team, so he can help answer questions and get them through some of the problems with his experience, since he hears me talking, he's the next office over. And then it's also creating the different events that we do for team building. So, the first slide, the picture of the slide, we had a good workout with the trainer I train every morning, which was a former Ravens player in the NFL. So we got to have a different experience that way. And then we've created a foundation to raise money for kids 6th through 12th grade to give back in our communities. So we're looking for kids that need the help, not families that need the assistance. So we give money back to kids in our area. And again, it's, giving back in our communities. And then we'll have like different bowling parties, and it becomes competitive because we're a competitive environment. So the more things that we do with each other, we spend so much time together as it is, the more that we become that competitive spirit and everybody gets along well. In fact, that goes into our hiring process. Everybody now, before they get approved to come on the team, has to interview with the full team and has to get buy-in from everybody before you would hire them as well.
So you hire as a team. Do you fire as a team as well?
Usually it's more firing from me. I'll get perspective from different agents ahead of time, so they are involved, and then we'll have discussion after it's done. And then if we have a bad apple, we know, once they've been released, then we can hear the feedback from the team that they're glad it's happened. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Lee, when you mentioned your closings over the years, and we're going to get into marketing and generating leads and converting leads and things like that. I love that you started off with role playing and creating a culture of productivity and the things that you do and giving back to your community. A lot of times people don't look at those activities or things as things that generate revenue or help you grow. How do you attribute those things to your growth?
Yeah, so when I look at the slide, 2013 we did 289 sales. The following year we did 267. So that was the year that we did 289. I did 138 sales myself. So I was just working way too much in the business, and I wasn't focused on growing the team as much. So then I took a step back and I did 72 sales in 2014 out of 267. So again, it was just me pulling back now, and hey, I need to refocus myself on growing the team, making sure we're getting great culture, getting great agents into the business, and really work on training them rather than just taking another listing appointment. So the more I transition my focus to hiring right key people and training, the better the team got.
Absolutely, really cool. It's kind of fun to watch that growth. So talk to me about some of the things you do from a marketing perspective. This is all about generating leads both online and offline. And I know you've got lots of online lead generation, but you said so much of your business comes from referrals. Talk to me about some of the activities and tell us what you're looking at here.
So referrals is always getting, it's staying in front of them. This one here is just a copy of our flyers of what we put in front of properties. We also give extras to our sellers to make sure, I'll see them posted in our local gyms and stuff of that sort, because they're the 24-hour recorded information price. So all pre-recorded lead capture, or as soon as they call in, we get a cell number for them to follow back up with, or if they're home, we get a name, address, and a phone number, so we know it's a nosy neighbor or whatever. Each one of the Monday through the weekend, each one of our agents has a phone a different day during the week. They get a text message first that shows the phone number that's popped up. They again would they know within 30 seconds that person's going to transfer through. They know it's a live lead. They'll answer the phone. It goes back to our role play. Thanks for calling lead test your team. What home can I price for you? Because they know that we know that they want price because they're calling about this and it does not have the price on it. The one on the right, that is just through our local chamber of commerce. Again, it's just staying in the community, getting our faces out there. We see a lot of clients on a regular basis. This is in our local mall, so we know we're going to see past clients and stuff of that sort. So we're always just giving out different things there, staying in front of clients as well through housewarming parties and client parties as well, which will be on another slide.
How involved are you with your chamber? I've got another client in Las Vegas who's a top agent that the chamber is become a massive amount of business, especially for the commercial side of their business.
We have one of my agents focuses on it, so we have a couple different networking and other events that we focus on, but each agent kind of heads it on themselves, and then they'll get the rest of the team involved. as it grows as well. The chamber is one, and then we also CPWN, which is Women's Networking. One of my agents, she is the president of it this year. So again, and they get a lot of referral business from these networking functions. So it's staying out there, it's getting your name out, but it's also being that true professional in the market as well.
I think that membership and also being involved in those type of events really gives you a lot of credibility because you align with, respected businesses. You kind of borrow each other's brand equity to grow.
Right.
Talk about client appreciation events. This is a big deal.
Yeah, so we do a movie event every year in the springtime. This year is a little bit of a transition because of the theaters changing the way that they do things. But what we do is we invite all of our clients out to a movie. We have breakfast. We can set up tables in the front. We do a breakfast setup, popcorn, sodas, bagels, donuts, those type things. And then we also do movie trivia, so we're giving stuff away. Our vendors are involved, such as Title and Mortgage. They come to the events as well. Then we'll have a drawing for testimonials online, all our reviews, Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, those type things that we can get reviews online. Post that out there, and then we do a drawing for an iPad or Visa gift card or something like that as a giveaway during that function as well. And then the Thanksgiving pie, that started out small. We used to do it in our office. We would have between 60 and 80 clients pick up apple pie or pumpkin pie the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Now it's grown to the point that we have a local Italian restaurant we have it at. He closes to the public for that day. We have our clients come through from about 4 till 8 o'clock in the evening. We do late food and we do open bar. We have some people that stay for 4 and 5 hours, and we have some that stay for 15 minutes, come in and pick up their pie. This past year, we went through about 350 pies and almost 700 people through the door. So it's just that every time we do that event, we get 5 to 10 direct referrals. So it more than covers the $15,000 cost that we get some of it offset through our vendors as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. I went to go forward and went backwards. Let me do that again. So talk about viral video. I thought this is really interesting to hear you talk about this, Lee. A lot of people don't think they have the disposition to be successful with video. Talk to me about what you do with video and what kind of response you get and who you're using.
So we've been using Frank from Vyral Video since about 2010. So everybody in my market knows that I do educational video. It comes out twice a month. We're doing whether it be like the first one's home sale seminars or what's going on in the market as the market's shifting. What are we seeing? What are some of the issues? We'll do videos on, like, say, FHA changes guidelines or VA, or hey, mortgage rates, or we've seen the Fed rate increase their rates, but how's that affected mortgage rates? So we'll do a short, it's usually a 2 to 3 minute educational video. It hits about 13,000 people. And again, it's keeping us as top of mind in front of our clients to stay as the true professional out there. Contact us if they have questions. And this does go out to other agents as well. And I'll have agents think, like, hey, that was a good video, and thanks for sending that out to me, because it is helpful, because sometimes they may not be as adept in the market of what's happening. So this gives them a little bit more, hey, I'm thinking this, but I'm not sure if I've really seen it or not. And then we're kind of proving it through concept.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating, all of the different aspects. When you think about how often you're touching the people in your database, you're doing events every year, you're seeing them at the mall, you're sending out bi-weekly videos. Do you have and I don't know the answer to this question, so I'm asking you, I don't really know. Do you do an editorial calendar or a marketing calendar where all of those things that have to be done at certain times get done so that you're able to stay on top of all this?
Perfect world, we do it in December of every year, so we have a pre-plan for the coming year, so we know where our big rocks are, especially our big parties, so we can plan, because some of them take 2 to 3 months to get them planned out and making sure that we have everything that needs to be done. But also, as we do them, we create our checklist, so it makes it a lot easier, so we can redo them much simpler. Also, when you're doing food and you're trying to figure out, all right, how many do we have? So we also notate how many people that came through, what food was eaten, what food do we have left over, so we don't make the same mistakes the following year. So we're always learning and always transitioning through it. But yes, the marketing calendar definitely helps, because that keeps us on board for the full year. And then you may have some audibles in between that you're making changes, but for the most part, you have all your big rocks in there.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Lee, if you want to have extra food, put me in charge of it. And you'll always have extra food. Talk to me about systems a little bit, about the systems for, when you have all of this marketing going on and you're doing your mailing and you're doing your call capture systems and the videos and all the stuff that you have going on. How do you qualify and convert those leads? Talk to me about your system, and we'll talk about for just a minute.
So one of the things that Joe had brought up was the first 5 minutes, and the first 5 minutes is so crucial. So a couple things that we've changed. Some of our marketing systems let us ring more than one phone number at the same time. So if we know it's a buyer lead coming in, we'll have 5 or 6 phones ringing the same time, and whoever grabs the phone gets it, gets it first. And we've seen our conversion go up from doing that. We also do that. The way we changed our Arch or the 24-hour recording from our 1-800 numbers was the same thing, but our agents know, hey, this day I have all the leads that are coming in from this, so I'm going to have my phone close by. So we know that the faster they respond, the faster it's going to get followed up on. And then with the ABCs that we have here, so once we get a hold of them, we can then qualify them of, are they A client, B client, or C client, which are they ready in the next, from now to 30 days? Are they going to be 30 to 90 days out, or are they going to be more than 90 days? And really, how often do we need to call them? So once we sort and qualify them, we'll notate them in our system of, let's see, between drip campaigns, and then how many times a month are we calling them? As you can see on the slides, hey, A's, we generally have some appointments. They're ready to go now. So we're meeting them in the office, doing buyer consultation, or if it's a listing, we've already had a consultation with them as well. And then our B clients that are, that 30 plus days to 90-day range, they're going to be that we're calling them on the 1st and the 15th. And then on our C clients, that's more than 90 days, we're only touching them once a month, let alone our regular drip campaigns. But these are phone calls away that we're contacting them verbally. We'll also shoot text messages in between there as well, but these are phone contacts. So the more that we stay in contact with them, the faster we're going to convert them, or find out, are they ready? Are they really a buyer? Or are they lucky lose that are going to be 2-3 years out? What's the scenario? So we know how to best follow up.
Yeah, I love that. There's a lot of people drop the ball on that. You asked me to put some stats in here, so I threw some stats in here. Sure. Go ahead and take us through these.
Yeah, 48% of internet leads are never followed up on. So figure out the amount of money that we spend on marketing, and then here you're going to flush away half of it right away because you never follow up. This is not stats for everybody, but across the board. So 12% of the people only make less than 3 calls. Or once they make the 3 calls, they've stopped. And then going on to the next one, it's where ultimately it comes to that you need to make 5 to 12 contacts here. So it's only 10% of them are calling more than 3 times. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. Again, it's that 5 to 12 contacts, and so many people stop ahead of time and just make that one. They're lucky they made the first call. They probably didn't make the second call, and now have they made 3 or more? And here you got 80% of the sales are made from the 5th to the 12th contact. Just everybody gives up too soon.
I mean, that's massive. It's 5 to 12 contacts before you convert. I think that most people, and you tell me if this is true, and Joe, you can add in on this as well, agents call one time. If the client says, don't ever call me again, or they're not ready yet, or they don't answer the phone, they figure they must not be a good lead, and they move on.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens in general, definitely. Go ahead, Joe.
So Lee, you talked about call capture. I'm going to go back to that for just a minute, if you don't mind. You talked about a call capture system that when an agent when a buyer dials a number, it rings multiple agents at the same time, and then whoever picks it up is the one who gets to talk to that client. It kind of creates a positive competitive nature amongst your agents, so that the client always gets to talk to a live person. The couple of people were asking what is the service you use? I know that ProQuest is a service. You mentioned Arch. What do you use?
We use Arch.
Arch Telecom, yeah, they've been around for a long time. Mm-hmm. Great program, and they have a lot of great service. The key in your call capture system is that it'll allow you to ring multiple people at the same time.
Yeah, and we transition on that lead. So we have other ones that the leads we know are either hotter are higher quality, that we're going to ring multiple phones. This one we've transitioned to that we're having, like say it's Shannon or Stephanie or Lynn or whoever it is on my team, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they know what day of the week they're going to have the phone. So we transition, and all the leads that come in from Arch go to them that day. They also are kind of like on call if we have anything else that, say it's a weekend especially, we forward our office lines to a designated person. So it could be either my office manager, it could be one of my listing agents. They take all the calls that come in from our office line on Friday evening after 5 until basically Monday morning, so all weekend, and then they're going to give it to that person, whoever has Arch as well, because they know that they're on call.
And how many on-call phones did you say you had?
On call, it's just one person per day.
Per day. And how many leads will that one person get in a day?
Sometimes it's only 3 or 4, but then sometimes you get 12 to 15. So it just depends on the time of the year and how busy it is. Spring market, you could easily get between 15 to 18 calls to follow up on.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Monday.
I mean, it's a lot for one person to follow up on. And it just rotates to the agents if they're doing what they should be doing. I think that's phenomenal.
And it's also going back and qualifying them through using LP Mama, getting them through location, price, motivation, appointment, agent, and then have they been pre-qualified, and then let's get an appointment with them. So they can kind of sift through them and find the good ones versus who's ready to go now, who's that A client versus the B's or C's.
So Lee, I'm curious, how long have you been your own best client? When did you stop just doing real estate for other people and decide that you wanted to build some real wealth and create some real estate income from real estate, buying and selling of property? Talk to me about your real passion.
So that's what originally got me into the business. I bought investment properties in 01 and 02, and then got busy with life and just held them for a few years, sold a couple of them in 05, and we had some really good hits. And then that's what got me to get my real estate license and moving forward. Then I got busy with growing my real estate business. So now in the last 2 years, I've focused more on acquiring, actually since 2014, acquiring rental properties and then flipping properties. So last year we flipped 12, and then we bought 4 rentals and bought 1 commercial property. So our goal is, to have 50 rental properties, generating at least $65,000 a month, at the time I'm retired, in rental income. And then, if we continue to do flips, great, as long as we can buy stuff that makes sense.
It's getting harder to find good deals, isn't it?
Yeah, our market's a little different. We're still in that shifting market. It's not to an all-seller market yet. So we still have a good amount of foreclosures. So we've been trying to acquire them, as many as possible. Over the last couple of weeks, we had 4 properties that we went under contract on. So that's good. So we're starting to pick up the pace on that and trying to take advantage of it before they kind of go away. But very, very competitive market, though.
So, Lee, if you were to give newer agents one piece of advice for generating leads, what is the one thing with someone who doesn't have a lot of money that they can do to, start to build their business, get some leads coming in?
Work on your database. Number one thing I'd say is building. When you're building a house, you start with the foundation. The foundation for us is, say I use Top Producer, but whatever your database that you choose, and I wouldn't consider Outlook a database, but it's something's better than nothing. I would say look at what you're going to use as your database and make sure you're logging into it every day. Make a minimum of 10 calls. My goal for all my team members is 20 calls a day through their database and past clients, and just stay in front of those people, because when they're ready to buy again, or they're thinking of a friend of theirs is looking to buy or sell, they're going to think of you as top of mind, because you're the true professional that keeps following up, not the one that's here today and gone tomorrow. Just stay consistent and be that true professional in the market and follow up. That'd be the number one thing.
I love it. And that's a lot of great information. I appreciate you being so willing to share freely with what's working with everybody. Sometimes I think agents feel like it's some magic pill or some secret sauce that allows them to be successful. But you talked about call capture, doing client appreciation events, being in front of your people, following up with leads quickly, and then investing some of the money you make back into real estate. I mean, those are things that we've heard about for a long time. What's the difference between the results you get and the results that people that know they should do it but don't do it get?
Oh, it depends on, what I see. Like, I think back to the beginning of my business, and within 2 years, 80% of my business, 88% was referral business. So then I started growing, it was getting to be too much business. I couldn't work any more hours, so I had to hire the other people. But I'd say it comes back to giving that great service, continue to follow up, keep moving it forward. I think that's just the biggest thing, is just picking up the phone. So many people don't want to pick up the phone. They think it's that secret sauce to it, and it's just the 4-letter word of work. Just pick up the phone, follow up, call people, and it does take work to get us there.
Yeah, I think that's the key, is understanding that this is work. It's a job. You got to work. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a phenomenal what you've done, and I congratulate you on your success. How important a role has coaching been to you? And you've coached with lots of people over the years, but how important is it having a coach?
I think it's super important. I got in the business in 2006. I got a business coach in 2007, and I've had one since. I've changed a couple through the years, but it definitely helps you take the learning curve out of things more than anything. That's what I see from my client, my coaching clients, is they're calling, they're running into an issue. How do we fix it faster, or how do we get them not to make the mistakes that I made and had some of the pain? Here's a better way to do it. You're not going to spend as much money or lose as much money. Here's the thing. Let's keep moving forward. And it all comes back to us hiring good people and qualifying them very well.
It is a huge deal. Well, thank you for sharing. Please stay on with us. I'm going to jump in and introduce Mike, and then we'll probably come back and ask you some more questions if that's okay.
Sure.
So I want to introduce next, if I can, Mike Waslikoff. Mike has been in real estate for more than 15 years, where he consistently has always done a good job of telling his clients exactly the way it is. Telling it like it is one of his keys to success, and I love that about Mike. He doesn't pull any punches. He leads a team of 10 agents who have shown record of significant growth over the last 5 years. He's got extensive knowledge of not just selling houses, but also rental properties, flipping homes, real estate training. And, it has him leading the pack of one of Delaire's top producers. Delaire Realty is the team that he's on. Mike's well-versed in processes, team building, internet conversion, follow-up models, and it's allowed him to become a great mentor and coach to his team, as well as Mike is one of our coaches over at Workman Success Systems and does a great job. His clients are having phenomenal success and love him as a coach. Mike, thanks for joining us, and tell us, just give me an idea what's going on in your personal business this year. How are things going?
They're going very well, Vyral. I'm at 54 under contract this year already. But more importantly, we've launched my team. We're on pace to do about 600 this year. And as you said before, we have 10 agents. So each one of my agents right now is about 30 deals themselves a year, which is great because 3 of them just started last year. And that's what I want to talk about a little bit today, of what we've used to launch young agents.
Yeah, I love that. And let's get right into it.
Sure.
I love how you've got a great team. You got a few millennials in there.
We are built a lot of millennials. They call me grandpa, and I'm only 43 years old. So it's pretty funny. We rock it out. We have an exciting culture that we thrive on, and we've touched on that a little bit, but I can't tell you. There's some people who've interviewed with us that just couldn't handle, we have to make sure they fit the culture, but if you're not up and coming and you want to get things done, you can't be consistent, you're not going to fit on our team. We found that being excited like this, being aggressive, we've built our presence as a technology company that happens to sell real estate, and we've got almost 10,000 people following us on a daily basis on Facebook. Which in a market our size,
you go over that like it's no big deal. Like, take a second, and I want you to say that again. This is your company Facebook page, right?
That's correct, sir.
And you have how many followers?
We have almost 10,000 followers that follow us.
Lee, did you hear that? What did you think about that?
That's pretty awesome. Once I was looking, I was like, holy crap, 9,200 people.
That's our goal. We had 50,000 people view one of the. We had a unique property. It was a property that could be a horse ranch, possibly a bed and breakfast, where it was a house that was built in 1850 and then another house built in 1970, and they converged them on 10 acres on a river, and we had 50,000 people look at that. It's just amazing what we've done with that technology, and how fast as us being, we're an independent firm, so we can move very quickly with technology. But,
all right, so let's talk a little bit about what you do and how you drive that much traffic. I mean, clearly this is a lead generation because you've established yourself in a community where you've got thousands and thousands of people. What makes it different? We have tons of agents that spend a lot of money on social media and never get 500 followers.
Right. What I believe is a number one key to our success is the photography. You can see this house. It's a $100,000 house. Our average purchase price is only $171 here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So we can't compete with $555,000 averages that some of my fellow coworkers have. But it comes down to taking phenomenal photos. People love to look at photos and follow us and want to use us to list their home because of the photos they see on Facebook. We'll have 114 people share those. This one had 39 shares. 192 people like it though. I mean, most agents will have 3 people that'll like it, and one of them's their mom, and one of them's the other agent in the office, and one of them's themselves. You can really build some huge momentum, which leads into our traffic ends up being 50% organic as of last month, with over 841 leads coming in that way. So that's definitely built some momentum that we have going, and we like to stay on top of that. The other thing is quick response, right? We were able to build a team with our coach. Cleve is just amazing. And we hired a ISA, which is an internal sales associate, our director of inside business sales. We got him licensed, but he's able to watch this, and it's a gamification, right? We're able to watch these comments that come in, the questions that come in, and he's able to respond to them instantly. Another millennial that likes to work it like a game, and that's really launched our successes. Lee's talked about it, Joe's talked about it. It's getting back to them within 5 minutes. Some people can't even believe we call as fast as we do, and it's consistent.
So you're doing social marketing as a massive lead generation source for your business. Do you track the numbers of how many deals you close that are connected to you on social media?
Yeah, we do. It caught me off guard there. I don't have the number this year that we've closed, but it's through the roof. I mean, we're at 50% referral, but the other 50% has to almost be from that.
Right. So it's a lot of business.
It's a lot of business.
All right. So how else are you generating leads?
Okay. So to launch these last 3 agents we just hired, they came from different fields. They came from, one came as a city planner, one came from cell phone, one came from, I can't remember where the last one came from. But what we do is we run these open houses. And what I do is we take our junior agents out and we have listings. We try to target listings in our market over 200,000 because that means that person has a home to sell. Once again, we go back and we use, the program we use is Open Home Pro. We bought 10 iPads for the office. We load this on there. We put one of those cards in there so that they can access the internet at all times with that. Then we're able to, instead of having a boring sign-in sheet, we're able to have some sexy photos. When I hand my iPad to a prospective buyer, the chances of them not filling out the contact form goes down to about, I would say, 10% or less. Most people, when you hand them this cool looking gadget with sexy pictures on it are more than willing to enter the 5 questions that we ask. What's their phone number? What's their email address? Do they have a home, or I'm sorry, are they pre-approved? Are they working with an agent? And the most important question that I can ask is, do they have a home to sell?
That's awesome.
Yep.
Now, these are all different iPads. How many iPads do you have as a team, and who buys them? Do you buy them, or did the buyer's agents buy them?
No, we buy them. We provide them. They're the property of the company, but they can check them out on a weekly basis to take them to open houses. And a lot of times what I do is I try to have 2 agents with me and a lender. This is a great way to build momentum with your lender partners because they're handing out the iPads. They're getting to see like what we do, how we do it, and how quick we follow up with these people. I always, yep.
A lot of people tell me that open houses don't work, Mike.
That's because people don't follow up. I mean, the slides were just leading right up into this. 48% of people don't follow up. We mandate that our agents follow up before they leave the premise. Now, they can go in their cars and load all this information, but when I'm handing them this beautiful iPad, I'm saying, the seller wants honest feedback. We tell it like it is. We want you to tell it like it is. I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and I just want you to answer them. Now, I'm also, if they don't have an agent, or even if they do have an agent, I'm going to load them into my data bank, not my database, but my data bank, and help them find a house and help sell their house. So these are the 2 questions that before our agents leave the premise, they have to email those clients, which we built a campaign in. We use Boomtown. We're able to enter them right in and drop this in their inbox. Most people are so blown away that we've actually done what we said we were going to do, and that we followed up as quickly as we do, is we get, 3 agents, brand new in the business, 30 deals this year already. Now, I'm not talking about a whole year. I'm talking about since January. And that all 3 of their businesses were built upon running these open houses. One of them, I don't even know if he does anything but open houses. I mean, I'm being a little facetious there, but he just kills it.
So how often do you actually sell the house you're holding open? I mean, for me, the goal of holding the house open is to sell that house, right?
You see that picture that was on the previous screen? That's from last weekend. I made one of my agents run the open house there. That's my listing. 3, I've got an accepted offer on that house that he wrote there.
And so how often do you get both ends of the transaction because you're picking up the buyers of the open houses? Is that pretty common where somebody from your team actually sells it?
It's extremely common, and I'll get you those numbers in a follow-up call, but it's amazing how much, as your data bank grows, I call it our data bank, we've got 25,000 people to pick from. We're directing that traffic with best fit leads to come to those open houses. So we're driving the traffic there and selling a ton of our own properties.
I love that. I'm curious, what's the service you use for the sign-in with open houses? Do you have a service you use, or are you using your own?
We use Open Home Pro. I know that there's a number of different things you can use, but basically it's more just about the consistency of the follow-up. I don't care what program you use. We take sexy pictures, we put them on there. They're able to rotate through 2 different pictures, which is really nice. There's a great online website where we can manage all the leads and actually see and cross-reference to make sure that the agents have uploaded them into our system and are following up. And then we do our weekly Tuesday follow-up call or follow-up meetings to make sure that they're being held accountable on that.
I love it. Great information. I think that there's so many ways of generating business, but the one thing is, as you're working, I mean, you're actually putting the work in, you're holding properties open, you're going on listings, you're driving people there. Do you advertise and promote your open houses on your social media sites?
Yes, we push it on Facebook, obviously dump it in the MLS, and then we push it on Zillow. We don't do any paper advertising. We don't do any door knocking. We don't do any invites. it all relies on that. But I won't run an open house unless I can see the traffic coming back to know that I'm going to get over 12 couples there. For me personally, I'll hand it off to a junior agent and let them run it.
I think that's great. So let's talk about expired. Actually, give us an expired listing script.
Yeah, I just we just signed one up last week, which is in our market, the 300 to 400 range is there's 14 months worth of inventory sitting out there. So we're still able to pick up some of those. I have our business director or inside sales associate calling the expireds. And this is, I asked him what his script was, and this is what he does. The script is right there for you. And he takes people back all the time, when he said, do you want to work with the best? Our name is Delaire Realty. And do you want to work with the best real estate company in town? Can we help you to get your home sold? And he takes a lot of people, it takes them off guard, right? And then we're going through, and our hook, I believe, Vyral, in always giving something of value. I have to be giving my sellers something of value. I have to be giving my buyers something of value, or they don't appreciate it. Things go south. So our catch is to always give 4 tips under $400 for every home that I go through to list to help sell it quick. And our internal sales rep is awesome at selling me on those appointments because people are interested in that. A lot of people think that I'm going to one listing appointment right after this meeting, and she's doing it because I told her friend 4 tips under $400 to sell her house. And another agent has been through and was blown away that I was able to identify a price, sign the contract, and what I like to do is collect trophies. And for me, that's the keys to their property. Because if I have a key to your house, I have the photos booked and the contract signed, the chances of you not listing with me go down to about, 0.0001%.
I love that. Well, tell me more about this 4 tips under $400. I mean, that sounds pretty simple. Let's get into that a little bit. Let's leave everybody on this call with some things they can do to give people 4 tips under $400.
I'm talking to a bunch of agents here. You're in a ton of houses. You know what to look for. You know the 1999 gold that's there and the light fixtures. The handles in the kitchen are a big thing. I mean, what are they, $1.50 a piece? Replace those. Make those modern colors. Light fixtures are another one. Buy a 2-pack from your local Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever you shop. Get those replaced. Another huge thing this year has been window cleaning. I partnered up with a window cleaner, and I've sent him so much business he wants to, he does. He wants to buy me. He comes over and cleans my house for free because I've sent him so much business. Because when you can see by our photography, our photographer opens up the aperture and you can see the trees outside the home. If you can look through and see an HD picture when you're looking outside, I said our average price is $171 home. It goes a long, long way. Always get the HVAC, air conditioning and furnace checkup. I mean, what is that, $100? It's so much easier to sell a home when you got the sticker of approval. It's like buying, a car, a Buick, and you open up and there's a service record for every 2,000 miles the oil was changed. Same thing with the furnace. The other thing is curb appeal, and the first thing we see, I'm always making sure that front door is painted up nice, that the doorbell isn't broken, just that first thing. So those are 4 tips. I mean, you're going to have to cater that to each different house, right? But there's always something that's easy, and window cleaning is one of them.
Mike, I think this is cool. So what I love about it is you rattled off a whole bunch of different ones, but you don't say I'm going to give you 14 tips. How did you come up with the number 4? And then how do you promote that? Where's that promoted other than when you're calling an expired, hey, if I have Mike come over, he's going to give you at least 4 tips to get your house sold faster?
just at my ISA, my director of business sales development, he's pushing me all day long. Hey, Mike's going to give you 4 tips under $400. Who doesn't want to hear that? I'm giving them something of value. We don't advertise it really anywhere else except for there, to be honest, bro.
It's awesome, and it might be something you should. It might be something you should post on your social media sites.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I like this slide. I like this slide.
Yeah, that's a nice. So let me ask you this. I'm going to jump around just a little bit. There's a lot of questions on the control panel, and I encourage agents to go ahead and type in others if they have questions. If you have a limited budget and you don't have a lot of money, what's the one thing that you would focus on to generate business today?
For me, it's what I just told you. That we're, running an open house is one of the first things, because if there's other people in your office, they're more than happy to have you work Sunday or Friday night or Thursday night rather than them. They look good to their sellers if they're running opens. I believe that that's one of the most inexpensive ways to get people built up right away.
Okay, I appreciate that.
We keep repeating it over and over until these agents get so busy, we have to hire more agents.
Between you and Lee, you'll sell over 800 houses this year. And so when the guys that are doing this kind of volume tell you to work your database, to do open houses, to work expired listings, to put on events where you bring the community together and your database together, use social media, these aren't like theories that might work or things that used to work back in the day. This is stuff you're doing right now.
Yep, in the trenches. And just one thing on that client get together, we got together as a group and we're doing a client event at a dog park because we do the movie day just like Lee does, but we found it was generally we do a family movie. And some people, they don't want to watch a family movie or they don't have kids or the kids are grown or what have you. So we did a pet day where we're going to provide photography at a dog park so you can get a family picture taken with your pet. And if you don't have a pet, we're getting a food truck, bringing in a food truck to provide food for the day too. So just something outside the box.
I think it's a great idea. And I love the concept that one of the things that you guys both have in common is you build for events. When you build for an event like that, how many touches do you believe you'll have with your database leading up to, family photo with your pet day?
We've got at least 4 to 5 touches, and it's more importantly just reaching out to that client again. We're not even betting on that they'll come. It's more just reaching out and being consistent about it, right? Some people's goals are 2 events a year. Ours is 4 events a year. So we're touching our database every 3 months with a new event.
So I asked Lee this question. I'm going to ask you the same thing. How important has coaching been to you in your business and your growth? And now I'm not asking you as a coach because you're one of our coaches, but I'm asking you as a client. How important has coaching been?
It took me from 51 sales to 103 sales in a year. It's held me accountable. I don't know. The proof's in the pudding right there. It's caused me to build a team around myself that even though I sell 103 homes a year, I coach Pop Warner football. I volunteer, much like Lee was talking about. I do it at the Optimist Club. I volunteer at church. And I have 5 children that are in every sport and event known to man.
You sound like you should be moving out here to Utah with me. With kids, it's just a good start. It's not even a big deal, man. It's just a good start. That's awesome. That's awesome. Joe, I had a question for you and for all the panelists, and I'm curious about this. How much of a role is predictive analytics playing in marketing strategies and targeting and things like that? Are any of you, I'm going to start with Joe from a homes.com perspective, and then Lee and Mike, are predictive analytics, is that a big deal? I mean, are you utilizing any of the services that provide that? And is it making a difference?
Well, yes, actually, Vyral, for us it is. We've actually hired 2 data scientists in our corporate headquarters to basically kind of like interpret, because I mean otherwise a lot of it looks like hieroglyphics, you know. So we're trying to by hiring these data scientists, we were able not only to interpret but able to really utilize this big data into being able to have some predictive analytics for marketing purposes, and it's worked very well for us, and it's been an amazing process over the last year as they've been able to actually relay this to us and teach us the whole process of how they look for it. So yes, it's been very effective for us.
I have to fix this landing page so you have the right place to go in and dial in. Hold on just a second. What's the extension on the landing page? All right, on this landing page right here, let me just go in and do a quick edit on this. If you go to workmansuccess.com/prospecting, then you can, let me open the slide back up. You can see that we've made a few giveaways for all of you. There's been several people on the questions asking if they can get a copy of the slides or some of the scripts. Here's what we're going to give you. We're going to give you a copy of the LP Mama script that Lee talked about. We're going to give you the expired listing script that Mike talked about, and then we're going to give you the housewarming party process. Now, Lee, you didn't really get into the housewarming process. You want to talk a little bit about that, because we're going to give away the whole party process.
Yeah, so we do housewarming. We offer housewarming parties to all of our clients, anybody that's bought a house with us, and also on the listing side, if they are selling and moving away and not buying a house anywhere in our area, usually moving out of state. So we offer a going away party for them. So we supply catered food for, we say 30, it probably feeds 45 people. So we do a menu. We do, that's part of our closing gift at settlement. So all of our agents would go to our housewarming parties, and it gives opportunity for them to meet friends, family, the neighbors. Like I'm thinking of one, it was a referral from the owner of our local jewelry store, was one of the managers there. She was on the market before. She didn't sell. He referred us to us. We sold it in 60 days, and average time was 140 in our market at the time. So we got her sold, got her a new house. We went to we did the housewarming party for her. And my wife even made a cake and had our logo and all on it and welcomed them to the neighborhood. Well, we had a bunch of neighbors that came. That was a $600,000 home that they had bought. So all the neighbors there were like, "Wow, I can't believe that you do this for your clients." Here, it gave us opportunity to meet them. But they said, "Hey, they collected a $15,000 or $16,000 check, or maybe it was $18,000." And we never heard from them again once they closed at settlement. So we stay in contact long term. We do the housewarming party. We go there. Gives us opportunity to meet the friends, the family, the neighbors, and again, show our professionalism and supply the food. And with that, we can get offset sometimes by the lenders or title company that's helping as well. And it costs about $400 for catered food.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I appreciate your time today. We're getting to the top of the hour. We're going to have to wrap up. For those of you that are watching the call today, go to workmansuccess.com/prospecting. You'll be able to get a recorded copy of today's call. You can get the magic script, LP Mama, expired script, the housewarming party process, as well as engage with any of our business consultants. If you're looking for a coach, both Lee and Mike are coaches for us, and they have a phenomenal ability to drive. If you can imagine how these guys are, we've got 40 coaches with this kind of caliber and level, and we've always done a good job of not pushing too much coaching. We just know that there's really good people out there that are in the business that do a good job, and they're willing to help you. And to learn more about that, just sign up for a free business consultation. On behalf of Homes.com, the ACE Content webinar series, and RISMedia, we appreciate you being here today, and we look forward to hearing and talking to you on our next webinar. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate all of your support today. Thanks, Joe, Lee, and Mike.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.